And for the first time since Donald Trump returned to the White House, the United States has imposed new anti-Russian sanctions. These sanctions targeted the oil giants of the aggressor country, Rosneft, Lukoil, as well as about 30 of their subsidiaries. The website of the US Treasury notes that these restrictions are a result of Russia's lack of seriousness about a peaceful resolution to the war with Ukraine. Therefore, Washington is making efforts to reduce Russian oil revenues, which the Kremlin spends on the war. The US president called these sanctions extraordinary, but expressed hope that they would not last long, since, according to him, Russia would agree to a peaceful settlement. The imposition of sanctions took place against the backdrop of a failed attempt to organize a meeting between Trump and Putin. The day before, Donald Trump said that he canceled it because, in his view, thank you, it would not have led to the desired result, namely a freeze of the war along the front line. Russia once again publicly rejected this call. The American leader made these statements during a meeting with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte. The latter flew to Washington amid Trump's attempts to establish dialogue with Putin, as well as to discuss the supply of weapons to Kyiv. In his assessment, pressure on Russia from the United States is capable of forcing Putin to cease fire.
Today is a very important day in terms of what we are doing. Look, these are massive sanctions. They are very important. They are targeted specifically against two of their major oil companies, and we hope they won't last long. We hope that the war will be resolved. This is our response to the various types of missiles and everything else we are witnessing. But we don't think this will continue to be necessary. It is necessary. We would very much like them to simply stick to the front line, which, as you know, has been forming and holding its position for quite a long time now, and then, after that, go home to their families.
I'm absolutely confident that with constant pressure, we will be able to force Putin to sit down at the negotiating table to agree on a ceasefire and then to negotiate. And you've seen this over the past few weeks. Alaska happened when the American president decided to establish a front, secondary sanctions against India, which is buying Russian oil. Last week we saw the goal achieved when the president said, "I am considering sending Tomahawks to Ukraine." So this is clear evidence that we can change Putin's calculations.